Good morning. Today I'm finally off to the war graves of my relatives and Andy's relatives, and I'll give you a bit of a story about them and how I found out about these people, our ancestors, as I get there. It's light rain this morning. I've not had a very good sleep because I woke up in the middle of the night thinking I really need to get better equipment for my tour next week to Scotland, so I'm not taking so much stuff with me. So I'm very grateful this morning for sportsbike.com because I've ordered all the stuff I need. I'm also very grateful for my accommodation that I stayed in last night because it was really comfy and it's all on one level. I've got secure bike parking right there, so no stairs, nothing to contemplate. So that made it nice and easy for me this morning. I'm happy with that. Anyway, let's get on our way. Here at my first stop, the Ville-aux-Bois-lès-Pontavert, and it's been really emotional riding through here. I've just had to compose myself, just riding through this area, through the fields or the battlefields, and just standing this area here. Anyway, I'm going to go and find my great-granddad on my dad's side. So I'm here where my great-granddad William Robert Neal is commemorated. He didn't actually die here and he's not actually buried here. He was initially buried in a German extension cemetery in Pauveau, but that cemetery was later destroyed in other battles and they couldn't unfortunately find his body, but he is commemorated here along with others whose bodies they did find from other areas of the battlefield of France. This area was kind of made to bring those people and those bodies to one place. I can't take credit for the genealogy on this. William had a son called David who did the genealogy. He was an unknown side of the family to us, and he contacted my Auntie Joyce and sent her all the information. She shared it with our family, so it was really brilliant. So if you do genealogy and find relatives you didn't know about, then share it around because it is really good. Now, I don't know if William even knew that his wife was pregnant with my nana because he was away at war probably when she found out that she was pregnant with her, and he obviously never got to see her or any of us. But I am very grateful to him because without him I wouldn't be here, and without him and others like him, many of us wouldn't live the life that we live today. He died on the 27th of May 1918, just one day before his 29th birthday, and it was during the first day of the Second Battle of Aisne. Hopefully. Well, I didn't enjoy that ride very much, unfortunately. Apart from the rain and the wind, the road surface was pretty atrocious. Put it this way, it was as bad, maybe even worse than the English roads, and it went on for miles and miles and miles on a main road. And my elbows are really hurting from riding sideways like this, where it dips and then bouncing over everything. Anyway, I've just come to this Crocodile place at Saint Quentin. to, not in America, not the prison, the buffet. I'm waiting for a vegan red Thai curry. Get in. That was lovely. I really needed that. I've had 2 cups of caffeine. I really need my wingman with me today. I've taken him on turns into car parks and then been riding on the wrong side of the road in the car park and then pulling out in front of cars on roundabouts. They've all been very patient though. Must be used to this in France. Perhaps it's their normal way of driving. Nobody's bibbed me yet. I've had some coffee. I've got 2 more cemeteries to go to and then Calais. Avoiding motorways and tolls, it's going to be 6 hours and it's now just gone 2 o'clock. So we'll see. I might have to stop a little bit short of Calais and just get an early start tomorrow. Not that I've booked a train or a ferry yet, but I do want to get on one tomorrow. I've just put my camera down to get sorted. Look at that sky. There are some rays of sun in there somewhere. We've just now entered the valley of the Somme. Regiment, 2nd Battalion. There are nearly 39,000 people commemorated here. So it might take me a little while. So the commemoration I'm looking for is for Percy Terry. He's my great uncle on my mum's side. He was 32 when he enlisted. I'm not sure when he enlisted and I'm not sure whether he was subscripted or whether he volunteered. Unlike my great granddad that I've just been to see, he was a military man. He was in the army. He retired and then went back in when the war started. But I don't know about Uncle Percy. I don't know where he stood with all that. What I do know, however, is that he died in France and Flanders at the 2nd Battle of Arras on the 3rd of May 1917. Now that date is important, so remember that. Ooh. Oh my goodness, there's loads, and these are just for the people listed for the First World War. I've just got to find the T's. Cover 4. So this is cover 9, and this is just the S's and the T's. Look how many Terrys there are. 6th Regiment, this is him. Essex Regiment. Arthur, that's it, his dad. And my grandson's called Arthur as well. Grave reference Bay 7. Now just to find out where Bay 7 is. I assume it's one of these, but I can't see any numbers because I don't think he's actually in a grave. I'll keep looking. At least I'm out of the rain. Although look, now I've stopped riding everywhere. Look at the beautiful blue sky. I'm absolutely soaked, but I've got time to dry now. Found him. There's the Essex Regiment. There's lots of them. And there he is. What an emotional day this has been. The ride I've been on, if you're just coming for a ride, I wouldn't kind of recommend it for a motorbike ride. But if you want to come and see the war memorials, then it is a brilliant ride because a lot of the memorials are actually on the road or just slight turnings off of them. As I left Saint Quentin, there was a huge grave with all the wooden crosses, and there's just been so many. I left Champagne and started riding then into the valley of the Somme, and there's just memorial after memorial, and obviously I can't stop them all, but I'm so glad that I've come here and I found my great Uncle Percy. Thank you, great Uncle Percy, and everybody else that fought for our freedom. You know, Andy was fascinated with the First and Second World War, and many a time did we come to memorials like this and just become completely humbled, just looking down the lists and lists of names. But actually to come and see somebody that you've discovered through genealogy, one of your relatives, is just incredible. I would thoroughly recommend it. My next stop is off to the Sunken Road Cemetery at Fampoux, not far from here, to find the grave of Andy's great Uncle Fred. Now there's a story. I'm walking around thinking, these all look like normal graves. I think this is just the Fampoux cemetery. Not like me to get it wrong, is it? It's 3 minutes away. I'll hop back on me behind. I'm heading up this track. I've just stopped at this memorial because I remember reading when I was researching Andy's Uncle Fred about all the Highlanders that lost their life here at the Battle of Arras on these fields. This looks more like it. This one actually doesn't look too big, so hopefully I'll be able to find him. Well, I couldn't even find the cemetery, could I? But I have now. That's to happen sometime today. So 4 years ago, Andy's mum started speaking to me about her Uncle Fred, who didn't want to fight in the First World War, but who was subscripted. And through my research, actually lied about his age to try and avoid getting in, I think. But for very good reason. Now, she knew he was in the war, but her family never, ever spoke about Frederick Waterclap. And so therefore, she'd always assumed that he deserted or had been shot at dawn. And she said, she was about 89 at the time, she said to me, I'd really like to know. And I said, leave it with me. I'll see if I can find out. And she said, really? And I went, yeah. And then I came away and I thought, I don't know where to start. I don't know the first thing about any of this. But anyway, I joined Genes Reunited, started looking on there, spoke to my cousin Sue, who told me about the War Graves Commission, who were really, really helpful. So I had contact with them as well. I did have to pay a subscription for a year for Genes Reunited and the War Graves Commission, but it was well worth it because I found out all about both sides of Andy's family and all about both sides of my family as well. So it was really good value for money if you're going to just do it for a year and just crack on and do it. Anyway, through all my research, I found out that, yes, he was in the war and he was in an Essex regiment and he was good. They developed the machine gun corps during the First World War. It was disbanded then in 1921 and wasn't really spoken about much, but it is, there's a big, at Hyde Park, there's a big memorial there that I'd like to go to one day because they have a service there once a year to commemorate the people in the machine gun corps. Now there was two parts. There was the heavy artillery, which was the tanks, and there was the light artillery, like the men on the ground with the machine guns, and that's what Frederick Waterclap was in. And I found him, and yes, he did die, but he died a war hero here at the Battle of Arras. He's got medals, the same as my great-granddad and my great-uncle Percy, or was entitled to them. I don't know whether he received them, but his family probably did. And yeah, I managed to get a certificate from the War Commission saying, thanking Frederick for his service and his family, which was just wonderful. Now, this is one of the things Andy wanted to do. He wanted to come here because obviously we realised that probably nobody has ever been here since 1917 when he died. So it was our mission, it was Andy's mission to get here for his mum. And at one point when he was ill, he was like, I really want to bring my mum and dad here. Unfortunately, Andy didn't make it here. He did wake up from a lucid dream one day though, about 6 months before he died, and he said, oh, I had a really strange dream. I was in the trenches with my Uncle Fred. I said, well, what were you doing? He said, we were just sitting there chatting. He was just having a cigarette and we were just chatting away. And I like to think that I'm here today for him and that both of them are up there or wherever watching me and guiding me and helping me to find the way to his gravestone. Because unlike the other places, he's actually here because this is where they fell. So he's actually buried here. I just have to go and find his headstone. Just wandering along going, where are you? You'll be here somewhere. And there he right was, look. Frederick Waterclap, Machine Gun Corps Infantry, who died on the 4th of May 1917. Yes, if you remember from my great uncle Percy, that is the day after he died. And that sent goosebumps to me and Andy, just thinking, wow, What if they just shared a cigarette or had a light or had a cup of tea, or their eyes had just locked? They both died at the Second Battle of Arras, one day apart. It's so wonderful to finally be here. I'm here. I've done it. I promised I would. I love the beautiful flowers that are down here as well. Now to head for Calais, and I want to get back to Essex tomorrow so I can take these photos and video footage to Andy's mum and dad. I'm still here. Look at those rain clouds. Not coming down yet. But I've just been booking somewhere to go and stay tonight. It's about an hour and a half away, 41 miles. 4-bedroom farmhouse Jeep for £37, I think. That would do me. I'll still be an hour from Calais the next day, but that's fine. So I better get on my bike, get a toodle on, and go get there. See you there. Just stopped here as I was riding past. There are so many places to come and see. Some simply just crosses. But this is Cabaret Rouge, and it is the biggest Commonwealth War Graves site in Arras. There are around 7,660 people here, and over half of them are not identified. And it's called Cabaret Rouge because there used to be a little cafe here by that name. It was obliterated in 1915 by shell fire, but it gave its name to this grave. I'm here, soaking wet, freezing cold. I don't know how to put the heating on. I can't find out, so I think it's going to be a cold night, but I'll just get under the blankets and make my movie in a minute. Anyway, lots to be grateful for today. It's very easy in this world of ours, isn't it, just to look at all the negative stuff, look at the things that we can't do, look at the things that other people do to us, and forget to look at all the good stuff. So I think it's really good to do a gratitude list each night of 3 things that we're grateful for, just each day, to remind us to stay in that positive mindset. I also like to look at something that I've done well each day as well, because we're very good at going, oh, I couldn't do this and I didn't do that, instead of saying, but I did this. You know, it could be just that we got up out of bed. It could be that we had a shower. It could be that we climbed Mount Everest. Who knows? It could be that we rode through France on our own in the pouring rain. It was raining so hard I couldn't have my phone up, so I had to have it in my bonnet charging, and was just listening to it in my headset. So I was just riding round and round in circles lots. So I won't follow my route today, because you'll end up in car parks of shopping centres and down dead ends and all sorts of things. 3 things that I'm grateful for today. Firstly, that the sun was still there shining behind all the clouds and the rain, and helping to keep me warmer than I would be if the sun wasn't here. My waterproofs, they were very helpful. I'm very grateful for them today. And for my life, for everything I've experienced in my life, the good, the bad and the ugly, because it's made me who I am today, really. And I'm quite happy with who I am now, and that's because of some of the things that I've been talking about the last few days, about just learning to be with me, about choosing happiness over suffering, going with the flow, acceptance, areas of control. Andy, before he died, bless him, he wanted people to know that he'd had a good life. It hadn't been conventional, but he'd done what he wanted when he wanted, and it had been a happy one. And I kind of took that as a legacy of like, I want that for me. I want to be able to say that at the end of my life. Now I can. Not that I'm planning on going anywhere soon, you understand, but I am happy, I am content, I have made peace with myself. Let me know if you want me to keep doing these themes, or if you want me to just shut up and ride. I can do either. I'm happy. Ta-da for now.